Hello, I am here. I'm sorry about the setup, but I'll wait for people to come before we start. There's just no one here right now, but there's one person that just joined. Yay! Um, I hope you just come on over. Come on over. Oh, yeah, I don't know what happened, actually. I had a little technical difficulty, which happens, right? So I've got one person, yay. If you can hear me, just say hello or let me know. Um, and there's 11. Yes, so you're coming. Yes, hello. Hi, Deb. Hi, Diane. Yes, I'm so glad. Yay. So, and can you hear me okay? Just kind of let me know, maybe in a chat, in the chat, please. That would be awesome. Yes, you can hear me perfectly. Yes, okay, that's all I need to know. Okay, so Phoebe isn't here. Thank you again for your patience and for your understanding. I'm doing this by myself today, so I'm not as anyway. But so I've learned I can put a little picture in the corner, which is great. I can talk to you and still show you what's on the table. So I really like that. And then if that little picture gets in the way, I can get rid of it. I'm so happy you're here. Yay, everybody. I'm just seeing people coming in. Thank you. I'm glad we didn't lose anybody. So that I'll give you, oh, I'm so glad it's your first time, Margot, if that's your name, Margot. I think we've got Deb and Diane from Tucson, Debbie, Susan, hello, Jan, Patricia, Debbie, again, another Debbie, Patty from San Antonio, Diane, and Carolyn, Ruth, yes. And I'm just Jane. Oh my gosh, Jane from LA. Hi, Jane. So just great. Fancy picture in picture. I know. I'm getting all technical. It's kind of fun. But anyway, it's just kind of fun so that you can. Oh, Carol Duvall. Yes. We miss her dearly. But Carol Duvall, yes, that was so much fun. Thank you to Chris for joining. So thanks, Kitty's here. Yay. Now, so Phoebe is had a little emergency. Everything's fine, but she left it up to me. She trusted that I can do it by myself, which I kind of can, but kind of had a little trouble there. But anyway, Elka is here, Colleen here. Now we've got a lot to do. So I'm going to invent. Oh, Debbie from Ventura, Minnesota. Well, so glad everybody's here. Yay. Okay, now we have lots to do. So, what I want to tell you is you've probably seen me do these little affirmation cards before many times, but I'm going to show you the whole process because you've only seen bits and pieces of it. And hi, Anita from Norway. Welcome. So, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're in the middle of it. You'll see a lot of pink. And I've gone through it twice. Thankfully, everything is good. Everything is good. I've got good report cards, which is really, really good. And I want to share like people that are going through it or have gone through it or just got diagnosed. These are really nice little affirmations that you can give to people going through a struggle, or just as something nice to give to a stranger, a perfect stranger. I'm going to just turn off the little picture and I'm just going to make it my table cam only. So there, you got the whole camera, and I'm just going to show you all the little bits and pieces. But this is what we're going to make today. I'm going to show you how the whole process goes, how my thinking is, and just everything. And you're a survivor, Lisa. Oh, so good. Yes, thriver, survivor, warriors. So this and what I do, because when I was going through my treatment, I had so many wonderful people do send me happy mail and beautiful artwork, and it lifted my spirits. Really, it did. It helped me get through it. And this is about that. It's like paying it forward, giving back what we can give back when we've been given so much. But and Phoebe, if she was here, she'd be able to name everything. So I'm going to do my best during this live stream, and I'll check the chat, of course, for anything, but I'm going to try my best to give you everything that you need. So we're going to do these. I'm going to first fold the box, which is the pop-up box. You might have seen it before many times. I'm going to fold it again because I love it. And I'm going to fold it out of a larger sheet than the 6-inch. But I think this is an 8-inch. So let me just kind of pull this one for you. This is something that I collaborated with Collage Soup with Emily from Collage Soup. This book, Pinkalicious, I donated all any profits from on my end, donated to the American Breast Cancer Society, or it might be national. I don't remember, but it was donated. It's all donated. So any all the donate all the anything that is profit for me was donated. So, and that goes for the whole entire time this is up there. But I wanted to show you, this is what I use, and I like it because it has double-sided papers, and they all have a pinkish theme and a little bit of bras. It's a bit very, fun stuff. So what I did is I took out let me just put this away. Okay, oops, I already cut that. What am I talking about? I took out a page, and the way you take the pages out is you can open the spine up and really push it down, and then you can heat the spine, and that will make the page sort of come out. So that's how I got that going. So, but if you only have 6-inch paper, these make adorable. This paper here from Yasutomo, of course, this paper I designed for Yasutomo. This is the mixed media collage paper. This is 6 inches. This is 8 inches. And just the difference so you can see, the 8-inch affirmation is like this, and the little 6-inch is like this. They're still adorable. Oh, and Joyce is here. Hi, Joyce. So, yes, so I'm going to show you how to make them. But aren't they, even the littlest one is so adorable. I made a little tiny one this morning. And, I get smaller and smaller in my artwork. I don't know why. But I made this little guy this morning. And I'm just going to take you through the process of how this works. And if you want to make them for yourself or to give away, this is why I'm sharing every little step so that you have it all. Okay, so let's get started. So I start with, and of course, let me just pull these out of the way. I'm going to use some origami paper. This is 4561. I want to make sure you all get that. And then I'm going to be doing some watercolors. And we have, now Yasutomo has these 2 pads, and the Niji cold press or the Niji hot. Now, hot press. Now, hot press has a little tooth, which is different than the Winsor Newton, or not Winsor Newton, any of the other brands like Arches. Their hot press is pretty slick. This one has a tooth. I like it. And I like it really for doing this because I can hand letter and stamp on it. So I'll be using that. But if you only have what you have, go ahead and use that. And I'm going to move that out of the way. And going to take, and I'll be using this for lettering. This is our pigment liner, Detail Master pigment liner, and it comes in all these different sizes, which is really nice for hand lettering. You get the 1, 3, 5, 7, and the 1.0. So this is my go-to for that, for hand lettering. And then I'm going to be using the Fusion brushes, my folding tool, and my One4All white pen. I talk about that all the time. So hot press, and so that's a good question, Ilka. You're asking what's the difference between hot press with a tooth. Well, it isn't. This is just sort of, I noticed in this brand, or in our, when I got this, or when we tested this, I noticed it was a lot less, it was a little toothy compared to the brand like Arches in a hot press. Arches is just really smooth. It doesn't have any tooth at all, or it's very little. And then there's very little difference between these two. I mean, you can see it, I think, in the video, but this has a little more texture, more little divots that will capture your watercolor. But it's also a little more, it's still smooth enough to write on, but your hand lettering could get a little wonky, and your stamping could get a little wonky in that. But this, oh, I'm so glad, Deb, that you like Fusion brushes. So, and this has got some tooth that will grab your watercolors really well, and it will also, it's better for hand lettering. So I hope that answers that for you. So I'm going to just start, and then the Fusion brushes, of course, I'll use those. And I made some in advance, but I'm going to start my little process so you can kind of get the whole thing from beginning to end. So I'm going to start. For this, I'm going to fold. This is the box and I have to decide which side I want to be the dominant side. So I like this side. I think that's pretty. So I'm going to turn it over, And definitely double-sided paper works the best for this project because that double-sided paper just shows off. It just shows off the little handles. If they're white, with one side, you can still paint those handles or decorate them if you want. But I like this double-sided paper because it really looks amazing. So I'm going to do the bigger piece here, and I'm going to start with this side down. And the first thing I'm going to do is fold it into a triangle, point to point, like this. I hope I made a good square. I see there's a little end that's not exactly perfect, and that could be that it's not a perfect square, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll open it up, and I'm going to turn it in the other direction and fold it point to point in a triangle. Hello from the UK. Wow, and we've got people from Canada all over. I'm just so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Like I mentioned before, Phoebe is not here today, so she won't be in the chat answering questions. So it's just me and all of you. I can't see you, but I know you're here, and thank you for joining. All right, so now I'm going to take that, and I've got these valley folds here. I'm going to fold the points to the center. Let's see, make sure I got center crease. To that center crease, just fold it to that. I'm going to fold the next point to the center crease. There's a lot of videos I've got on my YouTube channel. I believe I've got a couple that show this box. So, yay, glad. Yes, hi, Gail. So glad you found us again. Sorry about the mishap. I don't even know what happened, but it happened. I knew that I was in trouble when I couldn't get my camera on the table. So I'm going to open these ends, and I'm going to fold the points to this crease I just made. And right now, there we go. And I'm going to take that and fold it to the crease I just made. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself. Just fold those back like so. And then I'm going to fold these goes right to the center crease. But I'm trying to, yes, just to the center. And then it's kind of thick. There'll be a couple of layers in there. But this is a traditional pop-up box. I'm folding the other one to the center. Okay. And now I'm taking, there's a little valley fold, or there's a crease line right in the center here. Oh, thank you, Melinda. So I'm going to take this folded edge, and I'm going to bring it to the crease that's in the center. And it kind of does this thing where you can only go so far before the thing stops. And that's as far as you can crease it. Just, give it a good crease. And then there's the same thing on this side. You just crease it as far as it'll go. And it looks like a little scoop. And then you just fold it, take it, and just bring this point just as far as it'll go. It kind of goes right to this place here where the intersection of folds are. So happy you did too, Nicole. Thanks for finding me again. Oh boy. So when the cat's away, the mouse get in trouble. It's kind of what happened. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little point, these flaps that are sticking out here. I'm going to just fold them inward. I'm actually not making a new crease when I do that. And I'm going to bring this next fold, same thing, no new crease, just reversing what's there. And it's probably hard to see with this paper because it's so patterny, but I'm going to fold this layer back to this corner, right to this corner. So you see I've got kind of like this thing going on here, or like that. Okay. And now I'm going to just fold these points into this, just right to the center here. And then I'm going to fold that whole thing backwards. Now, I know this is going fast, but I do have a lot more things to show you. So, on my YouTube channel, I can try to put it in the chat after, since I can't do it. Oh, I'm sorry you're lost. Yes. So I'm going to do it again. This is one side of the box. So I'm going to do it. And of course, just I'll put the link to this video on how to make this after the chat so you don't lose anything. Because if you get lost, you can get found again. I know you can. So I know I'm going fast because I have so much to do. So I'm going to take this. So we're going to start over. So as if you've already completed this side. Now this side needs to be done. So I'm just going to take this flap. I'm going to bring it to bring it up to the, right to the fold. And I can only go so far. It just lets me go so far. Yes, one-sided paper. Thank you. Yes, I will do that. I'm going to do it again on this one. And that's a little easier. So I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to just jam through this so you can see. And then I'll fold it over again. Thank you. But yes, you can watch it later. But I'll just do one more. I'll do the little tiny one because that would be fun doing that one too. So I'm just going to do this really quick. But once you get the hang of it, you can do these fairly quickly. And you can make lots of them and you can share them. Lots of them if you want to do that. So, okay, that's that. That's the finished one on the 8-inch. So let me do the 6-inch and I'll go slower and you'll be able to see the patterning more. So there it is. Yay. All right, so put that over there. So let's do this. 6-inch paper, double-sided, but it's going to be easier to see. So we're going to take, what did I just say we were doing? Oh, yeah. So the paper or the side that you want it to be dominant, this side, which you want to be dominant, I'm going to leave down on the table. So I'm going to fold it in diagonally in half, point to point, in both directions. You open it up, turn it a quarter turn, and fold it in the other direction, point to point. Okay. Now, when you open it up, you'll see there are 4. There's this diagonal and this diagonal. They're valley folds. And you're going to take the top and the bottom points and you're going to fold them to the center. So I'm going to take that point, fold it to the center, and it really needs to be lined up along this valley crease here. And you're going to take the same thing, take that top, bring it to that center, lining it up to that crease, and then just creasing it. Oh, thank you. I did it just for everybody. I did it to match my stuff. Did it yesterday, but thank you. Yeah, they look good. They won't look this good tomorrow, but they look good today. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to take these and open them. And I'm going to put this point, it's going to go to that crease. This point's going to go to that crease. Hello, Cecilia from Australia. Wow, hello. Good evening. I think it's nighttime, over there, right? I don't know. Daytime, nighttime. But, well, thank you for joining. So I'm going to take this point, bring it to that last crease I just made. Okay, and the same on this side. I'm bringing that last. There we go. So you've got this going on, okay? That's what you should have. So, and then this crease is here, so you can see that, okay? That's how it looks. And now I'm going to take this and roll it over, like I'm not making a new crease, I'm just folding it back on the crease it was on. And then I'm going to fold these to the center crease, right to the center. And I'm going to fold this piece. I'll just turn it so I can see and fold it. So now you have this like belt kind of thing. It's like a belt. And then you'll see there's a fold. If you were to fold it in half, there's a valley fold right here in this part here. Hello from Beaverton. Hi, Sally. Wow, Beaverton, you're close to I know Beaverton really well. I have a son who lives in Twellington. Okay, so I'm going to show you, this is for the folded edge. So this is what I'll try to slow down because I'm excited. But this folded edge here is going to lay right next to this crease here. And the way I'm doing that, I'm just going to bring that folded edge and I'm going to bring it to that crease and then once I lay it there, I can show you. Once I lay it on that crease, I'm going to crease this with my finger and I'm going to push it as far as it'll go. It's kind of at a 45-degree angle and I'm making this angled crease. You can see that angle. And this doesn't want to lay flat just yet. So don't lay it flat. And then we're going to fold this part. Same thing, just take it and lay it onto that crease that's right here. And then kind of push it as far as it'll go until you have this kind of thing. It looks like a scoop. So you can see there's the fold here, here. And now I'm going to just take that, I'm going to fold it over. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I have to fold it over. It's not behaving. So what I need to do is I need to take this and I need to bring these down, these little flaps down flat, and I'm going to bring this layer right here, and it's going to lay right at this top, right over there. And it's really kind of a natural feeling. You won't go too far. You'll feel where it needs to be. I'm just going to crease it. You can see this layer goes to that spot. So right here. Okay, there. Now these little flaps will fold in. There's not, you won't be making a new crease. They're just a brand new, or the valve, that's a mountain fold. You just need to reverse it to the valley and then just fold it in to basically come inward. And you're going to do the same thing with this little flap that's right here. This little flap, this top layer flap, I'm folding it backwards. So you can see I've kind of made this little bit here. I'll show you that. Okay. So this is how it looks. And then the last part of this part is you take the little corners, these corners, and you fold them back to this raw edge. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Fold it back to the raw edge. And you'll see it comes to a point, this little point here. That's the point. And then all you need to do is take this whole thing that you just folded and fold it backwards as far as it'll go. And there you've got one side of the box done. Okay. Now this second side, we just do exactly the same way. So it's just this way. I'm going to take that and fold it. Oops, I want to make sure that folds. And then you take this part, and it's a little bit of manhand. You kind of going to finagle it a little bit. Bring that over, and then press with your fingers. And then when you press as far as you can, you just lay that down and flatten and crease these little sides here. And then fold these flaps backwards. And if you need to adjust the folds a little to make it match what's underneath, you need to do that. Go ahead and do that. And then these. Okay, so now the last part is you take this this area, and I'm at a loss for words. And I'm going to just fold that backwards. And then the last part is I'm taking these little flaps, folding them, just making basically it's going to match what's underneath. It's going to match this little triangle underneath. You can see. So you've got these little parts folded in, and now I'm going to fold that backwards. So I hope that helped. We haven't seen it on a double-sided, but like I said, I have a lot of goodies to do. So this actually, it pops up, which is lovely. And yay. So it pops up. And now here's why I do the box first. Because if I'm going to do an insert, which I'm going to grab my little, and I'm going to have to thank one of my friends for telling me about this paper cutter because I love it. It's a little Fiskars. It's not a little cutter, but it's really nice. It's Fiskars, and it's got all kinds of features that my other little one didn't have, and I so love it because it's portable. But what I've got to do is I have to measure, and I'm gonna get my ruler, and I'm gonna measure the distance on the bottom of the box. So this one is going to be it's a 3-inch square, but I'm going to go a little less so that I can fit the card inside. So I think I'm going to do about 2 3/4 square for that one. So I'm going to cut a piece of watercolor paper, 2 3/4 square for this one. And then for this one's 2 inches square. So I'm going to go 1 3/4 square for that. So I'm going to grab my paper, grab a sheet of my watercolor paper, and I'm going to cut. So we've got, did I say 2 3/4? I think I did. So I'm going to kind of cut 2 3/4 square on this one. And I love this paper. It cuts really nice. It's just, and I save all the little scraps for whatever I need. Maybe I might be able to do this one. Yep. Did I say 1 3/4? That is, I think I did. Let me measure that again, because I think I can get out of the scrap, I can get this one. So this is a 2-inch. And this is going to be a little bit bigger than 2 inches. Oops. That is 2 inches. So I'm going to go 2 inches Okay, 2 inches. I'm going to just do a 2 inch square on this one. So yes, I'm able to get that out of the scrap, which is nice. I don't like wasting good. Whoops, that one didn't come out square. I got to fix that. You got to be careful. The bases of these, they don't, got to be careful because they're slippery until I start scratching it and stuff. But now I've got my two sizes. I think I just want to make sure they fit. So just checking that, and that's just how I will do this. Okay, so I've got that's going to fit just fine, and then this one is going to fit just fine. So that's basically how I do that. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way, then I start to, then the next thing in this process is the affirmation. I'm going to write an affirmation inside the center of this card. Okay, and I'm going to tell you how I do that because measure twice, cut once. You're so right. Oh, yes. Um, so what I do is I Google, and then I find little affirmations that are that I kind of just sort of seem to fit, and I want them to be short because these are small pieces of paper. So I look for something, or I might even think of something, but most of the time I just look and I Google it. So I found these today. Remember, there's no one like you. Everything you need. Oh, actually, there's no one like you. Everything you need is within. Broken crayons still color. I love that. And hope is stronger than fear. These are just some that I'll use. Now, then I just take my cards and I get my pen, and I'm going to use one that's sort of boldish. This is a 5, bolder than some of this stuff. And I'm going to put, I think this one. And now some people like to measure or center their lettering. There's ways to do it, but I'm kind of winging it. I sort of wing it. If you count the letters, I guess you could count the letters. So everything, one, two, let's see. No, I'm going to do, I like broken crayon still color. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do broken crayon still color, and that will be in two lines, or broken crayon still color. All right. So I'm going to do broken. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. So the middle is going to be the K. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to measure this. So I have it's a 2 3/4. The middle is just approximately here. So I'm going to put the K right now. I'm going to do it there. Now I just made the commitment to it. What lettering teacher? Yes. So let me tell you, this is something that yes, you will love. Willa Wanders, or it's Wendy Solganic, Love Your Imperfect Letters. Her course helped me to develop my writing style. That's not just my handwriting, but I mean more like my lettering style, my hand lettering style. And it's on the Willa Wanders platform. So willawanders.com. And she doesn't teach you how to lay out letters, maybe not in that course, I don't think. I don't remember if she does, but she does teach you how to make your own lettering font, and it's amazing. So anyway, so I've got my letter, and now I'm going to just look at my little thing here. So broken. So I need to put O, and I need to do the R. So it's kind of doing it backwards. But if you think of your lettering, and I'm just going to give you a little hint, you don't think of your lettering as your handwriting. It's something that's art, like drawing. Basically, you're drawing. So there's my B. Now that felt funny. So broken, and then crayons. I love this. All right, so I'm going to put crayons is going to be about the same. So I'm going to just do crayons. Now I normally would go really slow. I'm trying to go as slow as I can. And then I just kind of wing it a little bit. Like I want it to kind of match. There we go. It kind of matches the broken crayons. And then I'm going to put still color. So yeah, right. And I'm leaving a border. I want to have a border because I can watercolor. Now, so still, okay, so I'm going to just count. I see where I need to, if I count my letters, I can see where I need to start. Now, I'm sure there are calligraphers here that have a much better way than I do, but this is how I'm doing it. So color is same amount of letters as my still. So I'm just going to put the color right just about right here. And what I can do, here we go. So I just put that in the center. It's good. I love it. I think it looks cute. And I kind of did it all kind of an uppercase. And then this one, I'm going to do There's No One Like You, but I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to measure. I'm going to turn it over. Let's see, that side, I think. I'm just going to put There's No One Like You. And I'm just going to write it. And you can, if you don't have lettering skills yet, or if you feel uncomfortable doing that, you can use rubber stamps. You can do your own lettering, but you might want to take a pencil and do like lay it out, draw the lines. But I'm just sort of winging it because I like the wonkiness of it. I like the kind of it's almost, yeah, it's wonky. So there's no one like, and I'm just going to do like, and then I'm going to try to get the letter U or what, YOU. There's no one like you. There we go. So there it is. That's how you sort of saw the process in a very short, just a thing. You could kind of see, but I'll fill all these out, but I'm just showing you the process from these, the box. Now I did the affirmation. Oh, wow. So Jane, that is wild. Wendy oh my gosh, Jane, that's crazy. So Wendy teaches this wonderful lettering course, maybe, and I'm sure she talks about her lettering classes that she took back in the 90s. It is a small world, but we do inspire each other, and sometimes we reconnect later on, and it's just amazing. This is such a small world. So, wow, I'll have to mention it. I'll mention it to Wendy, but reach out to her. It's amazing. And if you also can find, like I found these little, where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. I found on Google, I Googled. So and again, Google. And if you've ever seen these little printers, and I'm just going to bring this out, like everybody needs something like this. They're so cute. It's a tiny little printer. It's a Canon Ivy, and it makes these adorable little tiny prints. And it's really, I just downloaded the image from the internet, and there I got it. So if you just Googled affirmations and then just ask for images, you can find stuff like this. And you don't have to. You can put that inside your card. You can mount it in a watercolored background card or whatever you want. That's just a way if you don't want to go this way, but that's just an idea. So now, next thing is I've stopped my lettering. I'm done with lettering. And usually if I put these away because I'm going to be using them again, and I'll show you what I'll be doing next. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scrap of watercolor paper. So I've got these, and I want everything to go together, right? So I'm kind of looking at the color scheme here, and I'm going to take some washi tape. This is just some washi tape that I happen to have. So I'm going to only do two of these because since I have just two of them in the queue, I'm going to just do two, but you can do gangs of them. And I'm going to do two hearts. One is going to be smaller, one's going to be a little bigger. And one thing you do with most washi tapes, if they didn't, so they don't tear the paper, I just kind of take my fingers and I just sort of put, you can do it with your pant leg too, just, with cotton, you can do a rag, whatever, but just take that tack out just a little bit and then just put it on. And now I'm going to take my colors, and this is where I want to bring my watercolors in. So I'm going to move these out of the way just a little. And I'm going to move these out of the way, get all this stuff out of the way, because I need to bring my watercolors in. Okay, so I've got watercolors here, and they're messy. And this has got like a pink. So how I do this is I look at the colors that I have in my boxes. I mean, that's how I'm going to design everything going forward. So I see like a quinacridone magenta color maybe, and I see like a charcoal color. I see slightly green yellow there, but that's it on that. Okay, so I'm going to take I'm going to do a heart that's got some maybe quinacridone magenta. I'm going to take my number 4 fusion brush. I'm going to bring in my water, and I'm going to get some quinacridone magenta or something pinky, purpley pink. This is it. Gosh, and I don't have any place in my oh, so sometimes when I keep these paints because I don't want to lose these. I love them, so I'm just going to make a new mix in my little dish. This is a wonderful ceramic dish that I've had. It's a Yasutomo dish. I think it's the item number. I hope I'm right. Is WC216. I think that's the name of it. But it is a little ceramic dish. If you look it up on the page, and I'm matching the color. I'm working on matching this color here somehow. I just want to get that color, this beautiful magenta, deep magenta, and I'm going to make a heart. Now, I do hearts really weird, and what I do. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, Marcia, Marty, Marty. Thank you. I think it's Marty. So I've got enough of that magenta, and I'm going to start my heart upside down. It gives me a more free heart. So I start with the bottom of the heart at the top. So I'm just going to go like this. And I'm making kind of a triangle or a hat, looks like a little hat. And then I'm going to just decide, there we go, there's that one side. It just makes for better hearts. I'm noticing that my hearts look better now that I do it upside down. It just seems to help me because I get like a better shape a shape that I like. And then I can kind of play with it a little bit. And I kind of like that. I might bring this out just a little to kind of match the other side. There. But that I just love the hearts that I make when I make start upside down. It's just weird, but I love it. So this one, I'm going to make a smaller one, and this one's got more of a pink, like a soft pink, and I'm just going to try to repeat that pink somehow. Maybe I can just add a little of this sort of I think that's a rose color. I'm going to put that in. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to make it smaller though, and just a little smaller. But I need room to write something at the top. That's kind of why I put the tape on, and then I make room for the letter. I'm just gonna do this, and now I'm gonna reshape the top. Okay, and I get it a little wider right around there, so I can get my more word in, because I'm using the word remember because each one it's gonna say remember. Okay, so I'll let that sit. So that's how I do that. And I just make a bunch of those. And then, of course, you can see I've made a few. So then I just write it in, and you can see I hand lettered. But then I tried, why is there tape over it? This is why. So I'll show that in a second. But once the tape dries, it leaves a white space for you to write. See? Oh, yes, like a light bulb. I know. So now that, and depending on the width of your tape, you can get thinner tapes, thicker tapes. And then you've got your white area that you can write in. This was a little stamp set. I'm going to show you this. I bought this in Japan many years. It's a little peg alphabet set. And I just think it's amazing. And I just used some black ink and did my little stamping in there. So that is fun too. Now then when you're finished, you'll cut these out. But I'm going to give this a little minute because I won't need to do it yet. So now back to the affirmation. So I'm going to go to this one. And this is where I kind of think that these affirmations become more powerful because you're kind of putting some energy, good energy around this. You're doing surrounding those words with your positive energy. And this is like a way I really believe that positive thinking is much more powerful when you speak it out loud. So I just said broken crayons, still color. Of course, there's no one like you, any of these things. And then I'm going to write it down, which I did, and I'm going to paint around it. That's giving more power to it, I think. Okay, so I'm going to use the number 2 brush, fusion brush, because it makes nice little thin lines. And I'm going to use the paint that I used for the heart. And I'm just going to start by circling in just nothing fancy. I'm going to start my circle or it doesn't even have to be a circle. It can just go around the lettering, like embracing the lettering. So I'm going to give it a little space, and it's going to be a little sort of a rounded square. You can see I just did a little, and I'm just joining that circle with my brush. And there we go. And while it's still wet, I can drop color in and just kind of make it look. There we go. So you can see I just did that little tiny thing. Now I'm going to build upon that. So now I'm just going to pick colors. I might even pick this Payne's gray, just stuff to match that, but it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just, I don't have to stick to that, but I like that there's like a yellowish color in here. So I'm going to pick a little of this quinacridone gold, and I'm going to try something a little different. So I've got this quinacridone gold, and it's sort of matching a little bit with that. And I'm just going to start another circle, a bro, whatever that is, that shape. And I'm just going to go start it nice and wet. And then I'm just going to lay that brush. And I don't want to touch yet. Don't want to touch the line I just made. And then this is where it's a mindfulness. Go slow. If you feel like you're running out of paint, just go pick up some more. And this is a very pale thing. I'm just doing something different, trying to match the box color. So whatever paper you have, you're going to pick out the papers that will match it. It doesn't have to be the same papers I have. It doesn't have to be the same colors. It's colors that you love. I'm just going to bring that line. So this is the number 2. So I'm getting a nice little fine, pretty even line. And before this side dries, I definitely want to have it. There we go, like that. And then I can just add more color, maybe just drop some color in to give it a little more vibrance and some variation around the thing. There, lots of wet into wet right there. I think that's really fun. And then I could keep it like that, or I can add another color going around in a circle. And I'm just seeing maybe another pink color, more of a kind of a one with a little peachy, maybe that color. I like that one. This one. I saw a color I liked in there, and I'm just going to try to maybe add a little bit of that too. Or I can just fill it with this. So there's all ways you can do it. And since your painting's so small, you're not really um, committing to a lot. You're just doing a little small, painting small, but you're still getting the benefit of painting, and someone's going to get the benefit of getting one of these in there given to them somehow, and it takes time, but that's the whole point. It's the experience of doing this. So I'm just going to go again a circle around it, giving a little space, like a quarter. I don't know what that is, but I'm trying really hard not to touch the previous. But if you do touch it, it's okay. You'll get like a little bleeding, like a little colors will go with each other. But I'm just doing it because it kind of helps me to really center myself. Ooh, it almost touched. Because I'm talking and I'm kind of multitasking right now, which is probably impossible. But this is something that you would do, and you would just do it really in a very relaxing way. Now, I don't know what she has a course called Watercolors for Relaxation. And I have a feeling I want to take that class because I really would love to know. She does a lot of abstracty kind of fun things, and it may just fit right into this practice. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to do like a little radiating of color going out. And I'm going to pick just some random colors that I like. I think I might pick a green. I rarely use green, but just colors that make you happy. Put colors down that make you happy. And then maybe somebody else make someone else happy too. I'm just going to put this color. And I'm going to take right at the base of it, I'm going to make a little line, kind of just to fill in. It just is, again, I'm not going all the way to touch the edge here. And I'm just going to turn it around and do the same on the other side. And I'm just picking up colors now that are in the palette. And you can go as bright, as cheerful, or just color, coordinate your piece so that it's kind of works with the with your box. That's why I do it this way. But any way you do it, I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. And I've loaded my brush pretty with a lot of color. You can see, and just bringing that this way. And I did some like what do you call those things? Fast forward things, time lapses of these of this process. And really, it is very relaxing when you just go slow, take your time. You're not in a hurry. Give yourself your time to have some relaxation and do this. So the fusion brushes in Alberta. So Jody, that's a good question. So, do you have a? If you don't have, I'm trying to think. We're trying to think of Omar Desserts. You could ask them, and Yasutomo does ship to them, or they have an account with us. So, if Omar Desserts has them, that'd be great. If not, um, contact Yasutomo. Email Yasutomo the customer service. It's on their website. Email and ask where you can get it in Canada. So let's see. We've got. I'm going to take this. I'm going to just go right to here, and I'm just going to do a wide swath of color, just kind of like because I don't want to spend more time because I've got 10 minutes to complete my project. I always go over a little bit, but I'm going to try to get everything done in 10 minutes by 10 minutes. Okay. And so basically, you see how the process is, and I can go and show you. I'm just going to bring that swath of color. Whoops. I'm just trying to leaving some of that white. Now, the reason I leave it white in areas, it gives you that contrast you're looking for. That a lot of times when we watercolor, we forget and we lose our white of our paper, which really adds to the whole look in the dark and light. Delta Art Supply. That's a good idea. Thank you for check those and certainly have them contact Yasutomo. These brushes are phenomenal. So, and for the price, they're very inexpensive. You get there's several sizes, and I love I actually developed these for Yasutomo. And I'll show you the original brush that I have. This Yasutomo used to sell this brush years ago, and it came from Japan. It was very expensive, but this brush this was designed based on this brush, and the metal ferrule makes it just very controlled. You can get a nice controlled. And I'm not a brush maker, but definitely this metal ferrule helps with getting those hairs nice and point. You can get a nice small brush or different sizes, and we also have flat. So the flat ferrule gives you that flat brush and different sizes. So yes, I hope you can get them there because they are amazing. So, and they're cheap. I mean, really, they are so cheap. It's almost, but that's good. It's good. We wanted to affordable quality. That's kind of been the Yasutomo mission for all these years. And believe me, I've been around them for a long time. Affordable quality. It was like a big thing, and we try to keep things affordable. So we look for good quality and we look for affordability. And sometimes, prices are just going to be what they are. And, the way the things have been lately, prices have been going up on things that are imported, unfortunately. Maybe that will change in the future, but right now we just have to pay for our beautiful things, I guess, but these are very inexpensive, so you won't have to. Oh, it is. Is it available at Delta Art? Thank you. And it's in Kensington. Thank you. Oh, good. Great, great. So the last little bit is I'm going to just do, so these look good together. I'm going to put a little more, I don't know, maybe this peachy or maybe this yellow color. But this is, so you can just kind of see how these work. This is a very cheerful little thing. I'm just going to, the last bit is to add those, just to fill it in. And I just kind of go and once that's filled in, then I have one more layer to do. Basically, I take the white pen and I do some sketching. If you want to, you don't have to. I mean, but this is like if I wasn't talking, I could be thinking about the affirmation that's in the center, and make that my focal point in my thoughts. And I believe in that things come true. Yeah, if you think them, write them down, you can manifest many things if you do that. So that's kind of what this exercise is. And then after this is over, I can share this with someone else who needs the same, who would like this, because I make a lot of things and then I got to find a place to take them, right? So when my art has a purpose, I tend to make lots of them. If I'm just doing it for fun, and I don't have a purpose, I may not make as many. I may just, enjoy the process. But this is for me now has a purpose. I'm going to make it for others to enjoy and to maybe lift a spirit if they're feeling a little down. So I am almost done. All right, that's done. Yay. So isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. The paint spot. Yay. Thanks for checking, everybody, on the availability of them. Okay, that one's actually kind of just cute on its own, but I have to wait for all this to dry before I do. Um, so yes, the 8x8, thank you for that. So 8x8, there is no 8x8 Yasutomo papers, so definitely cut your own you can cut it with the washi paper, yes, or anything, even magazines, whatever you've got. Jelly printed paper. So that's going to go with that. And I don't have time to do this one, but you get the idea. So next step is now, all right, so now I'm ready. This is going to have to sit to dry a little bit. So there's one more thing. I make a belly band for this. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of the paper. And oh boy, let's see. I need a big piece of paper that's going to kind of go with it. So I just kind of flip through. I think that looks fine. Or I can just kind of, oh, that looks good. I'm seeing this paper here, and I'm going to be bad. I'm just going to tear it out because I don't. Here, I just tear it. It did pretty good. And what I'm going to do is trim this down with my cutter. Since I'm finished painting right now, I'll just put this to the side. Move these out of the way. And I'm going to move that out of the way to dry. And I'm going to make a belly band. So I'm going to make a 3-inch. I want my belly band to be about 1.5 inches. I'm going to make a 3-inch strip. And I wanted this because I love this. This paper is from this is from the Pinkalicious Collage Soup. Oh yes, Ruby is a good brand. Very good brand. It folds really well. This is Pinkalicious by Collage Soup. It's a book that I helped collaborate with. All the profits that I get go straight to American Cancer or National Cancer Foundation. So it's all good. So it's a little book that you get, and you can also get the downloadable, like online. It's a downloadable book, and you can print out your own pages. So there it is. Isn't that great? Okay, there I've got my piece ready, and I could use this side or that side, but I think that magenta side's gonna look pretty nice. So to make the belly band, I want to basically fold it into thirds. But I'm going to just, let's see, yeah, fold it into thirds, but doesn't have to be perfect. But you want your edges to kind of, yeah, you don't have to meet. So what I'll do is now that this is the bigger edge, so I'm going to bring this one underneath, and that will get glued, and then you won't see, you won't have a gap. So I'm going to take my glue, and everybody knows that I like the Art Glitter Designer Dries Clear with the metal tip. I love this stuff. I use it for everything now. And the people who make it are based right here where I live in Cottonwood, and they make glitter. The reason it's called Art Glitter is because they manufacture glitter, but there is no glitter in this glue, just so you know. It's just nice white glue that dries very clear, and it dries very strong. And I get it pretty flat. I don't get a lot of, it just dries nice, and it's easy to deal with because I like easy. So I've got that. And now while the glue is still wet, this is when I make my belly band. Oops, I just hit the mic. Sorry about that. So just taking this folder, and I'm really gonna get that glue really nice and spread in there. And then what I like to do is fold it while it's still wet. work with it while it's still wet. Because if I just let that dry and then I tried to fold it, it may get a little crazy. So I work with it while it's still wet. So now I'm going to take my box and I'm going to lay the paper where I want to fold it. And I'm just going to do a very loose fold. It's kind of a loose wrap, very loose. Because I don't want it to be so tight that it won't fit the artwork. So it's kind of a loose thing. And I'm going to trim a little bit of this excess off so I don't have that much going overlapping. So I'm trimming that. And I'm going to trim about the same amount. Whoops. Some of it went in the box. I'm trimming, okay, that. So I have a little overlap. And then I'm going to trim about that much. Because sometimes I've gone too short and then I can't glue it. So there, I've got it perfect the way I want it. So now I'm going to take a little piece of deli paper and I cut tiny little pieces just so I can put it over there. And I'm going to take one that I already made because it's not ready yet. The other one's not ready. So I'm going to grab a heart that I already fussy cut. And I'm going to decide which one matches the best. I think I like that one. So now what you'll notice is if you look, when you see there's a little bit of that excess, I'm just going to take this and drop it this way and see if that heart, yeah, I'm going to have to trim more. So what that means is I just trim a little more so it doesn't show where the heart ends. There it is. Yes, perfect. So now I'm going to take the glue. I'm going to just do it. I'm going to just measure about, and that can be kind of sloppy here because you're not going to see any of this underneath. And like I said, I'm not going to go too tight. I'm going to make it a kind of a loose fit. So I've got it kind of like that. Okay. I'm just going to make sure it sits nice there. And then I'm going to take my heart and I see that I need to put about that much glue on. About the width you want it to be the width of the belly band. And I'm turning it over and I'm just going to glue it right on there. And I'm going to center the heart, the bottom of the heart, right where that fold is. And I'm just going to kind of put it on there and then press it. And that's that. The box is done. Totally done. Whoop. Let me just get that back. Oh, it's 3:01, but we're almost there. I can't believe it. We did it. Okay. It's almost there. So now I'm going to just make sure there's no wet glue on there. Because if you don't dry this really good, you will stick your belly band together onto your box. So there it is. That is so pretty, isn't it? Just like that. I love that. Then what I'm going to do is this is not quite. So here's the affirmation. Remember, broken crayons still color. So that's why I put the word remember. So remember. Now this is still wet. Now, one thing I like to do too is I like to take my little corner rounder and just gently round those corners out. You don't have to do this, but why not? It's an extra step. It just gives it a little more polished look, and you don't get the dog ears when you're taking it in and out. So there, I've got the little rounded edges. Now this is dry enough. Actually, I'm going to complete it. I can't believe it. So I'm going to take my little pen and I'm going to just this is just a way to get more contrast and more like pattern without having to paint it. Because the white pen, this is a Molotow One4All acrylic. This is the extra fine signal white. And I just kind of I just sort of make these lines. You could make dots. You can do dots. I'm just going to do lines on this one, but you can do all kinds of little squirrelies, little stars, whatever you want. But this one sort of says it wants lines. Plus, it's easy to just make a straight line going from the inside of your artwork. And if it's not perfectly straight, like this one just was a little wonky, it's still fine. It kind of looks reminds me of a sort of a stylized flower, kind of a little bit. And then I'm going to take this little bit here, just divide that green up a little bit. And I think it's dry enough now to put in the thing. And then there's one more thing I like to do. One last thing before I give it away. I had this stamp made back Fodder School 1 or just one of the Fodder schools when Wendy had these stamps. I got this off Etsy. It's very handy. And I just turn it over and I make a stamp of my little signature. Dun, 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 done. So now it's ready. And there it is. There it is. So I'm going to put it in the thing. It looks good. It's ready to go. I put it in the box. It's ready to gift. And mission accomplished. So does anybody have any questions? So we did it. We're so happy we did it. There we go. And then you have that to give away. That is so much fun. So I'm going to stick around here for a second, and I'm going to just see if you have any questions. I'm so glad you're here. And I see there's 80 people today that I see watching, and I really appreciate it. We love it. But this, this will be, and we've lost just, we lost two, but the thing that's great is this recording will be on the YouTube channel. It gets on there like, it's on there maybe in about 20 minutes or so. And so there it is. So I'm going to grab this one in this cute little box. And you can see I've made several. And you can see I've got all these that I'm ready. These are ready to go. And if you remember the last couple streams ago, I'm so glad you had fun. Yay. So glad. I'm so glad. Yay. So this one, if you remember, we did this a couple, I don't know, maybe last live stream, but these will make also great gifts for people. This one, of course, I went crazy and did all that stuff, but you saw me do this, I think. And I did something on the back like that. But if you want to do something like I just did with this fold, which is, that's a simple heart fold, you can actually take this card, this one here, and these fit, these little camera, this fits exactly in there. I mean, it's like it was made for that. So there you go. So everyone, thank you for joining me, and I had a good time with everybody. It's a little after 3, so next time, please write in the chat things you want to do. I'm not sure what we're going to do next time, but we will get together and you love my YouTube channel. Thank you. Any Christmas card ideas? This would be a good time, yes, for next, because it is that time of year, where people you want to make them ahead of time. So yes, she'll be fine. Everything's fine. She's fine. It's just that she had to take someone to a doctor's appointment. She's okay, but just so you know that she'll be back, and we will do some. I think a holiday card idea would be fun with watercolors. I think it'd be fun to do, like, we'll do something with a holiday theme. And thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody. Bye.